Everybody's a Mad Master here. I'm kind of doing more videos because it just kind of takes out my aggression and my anger sometimes. So I was kind of fighting with some people on social media about the Marilyn Manson thing. Now, it doesn't mean that I know he's innocent, or I think, I lean towards skepticism because of the use of the repressed memories thing and some of the other details of the case. That doesn't mean that he's innocent. I just want to make that clear. Based on the research, not really research, but watching various things years back, including some actual more credible, not credible, but that's not the word to use. They're more in that direction, like lawyers and stuff talk about it, and actual people that are accredited talk about some of that stuff, especially when it comes to the repressed memories thing, which I have a book about. I have several books about. I've read that. So when they use that like I said, I question that part of it. Doesn't mean I question the whole case just because of that, but it does spoil the apple cart. So I'm sorry to people that want to attack me as a misogynist and all this stuff, because I'm supposed to believe multiple people accusing someone of something. I mean, it does get discredited from time to time. I'm not saying it's not more likely if there's more people, but it's just this whole idea. I mean, they call things witch hunts for a reason. I'm sorry to say, but anyways, getting out of that, witch hunts, witch hunts. Your daily dose of me trying to sound like King Diamond. This is actually a really dark subject matter. Why am I laughing? So, this whole thing, Chris Watts, I had a really strange feeling in the pit of my stomach when I was doing a little research. A certain friend that, and I don't want to name any names because people could do their own research, even though the government doesn't want you to or whatever. You do your own New York Times or whoever. You do your own research on this. I don't really want to give away anything, but I got a little obsessed with this case, right? I like anybody that's gotten into this case. It's a weird case. I've been to more true crime the last 5 years. See, my father wrote like 5 true crime books. One about the infamous crime that happened in this state, 30 plus years ago, by the way. You could dox me from that, I guess. A few things in the refrigerator, I'll just say that, Sorry. I don't know, I'm just in such a bad mood I have to laugh, so. I had kind of a stressful day. It's going a little bit, it went a little better today than yesterday, though, so it's got to relax. Anyways, so this whole thing with a certain mistress of Chris Watts and a certain friend, and this friend happens to be from the state I live in. So, and I'm going to probably piss off a few people with this video because I'm going to say some things that might not be very kosher with what a lot of people, even on the the side of the equation, the Watts or the Shiner side, thinks. Because, if you're a Shiner, it's a derogatory term for people that are on the Shanann Watts side of this debate, which is completely ludicrous. There's this like subculture. I don't think I've ever heard of any other true crime case that has this like weird subculture like this. Like, other than maybe like if you count conspiracy stuff like with JFK and stuff like that. But anyways, more about that later. I'm obviously a conspiratard, so I eat up all that stuff. So no, I actually do believe in JFK thing and the towers too, to some extent. Let it happen on purpose. LIHOP, not IHOP, but LIHOP. So this whole thing, it got me curious that this person, the supposed friend who took some pictures at the sand dunes or was hanging out with them, or maybe did some things with them, you know what I mean? This allegedly. I was wondering, like, okay, I'm gonna look this person up, and then also a relative of theirs too, and they're friends with this person who I'm friends with, and then they're friends with someone that's friends with me as, I mean, friends with me, friends as well. I have a friend that's friends with my ex on social media, but he's like he's kind of a sort of a up and coming musician. So I kind of understand, but I didn't know he was friends with my ex, but I don't care. But anyways, I don't really care because I blocked her, so I don't usually block people. It's a long story. So I very rarely, like once in a million years, block people. So yeah, this whole thing was weird because I was like, oh my God, you know, I could see this guy's profile, and he's like, he's friends with one, or a relative of his is friends with one of my friends, and then a friend of a friend is friends with him on there. So it's just like the 6 degrees of separation, Kevin Bacon related everything or whatever weird moments. I was just like, wow, that's weird. Now I'm gonna go into this now because I figured I'd talk about this a little bit. Now, the Roost-Checks, I think that's how to pronounce it, have come out and said, I was on, you know, one of their channels with the son, Frankie, and there's a lot of comments from him about this and about NK. I'll just say NK. And this is my belief. I think that there was a lot of stuff going on. There might have been some shenanigans as far as what was going on with that whole thing. And it's still possible that she was involved, you know, more than they said. But if the family of the slain person themselves, or whatever, is sitting there and saying, we were convinced that she had nothing to do with the actual crime itself. She was, you know, phone pings, but there's a lot of weird stuff with that too. There was the internet search in 2017. I mean, that is weird. I would investigate that just to close all loose ends, you know. That's what I would have done if I were the police. If I were the police now, I'd reopen the case just for that. Just kind of, oh yeah, there's nothing there, you know. Because I don't know if the forensics were, that's one thing, the forensics were not great in the case, because there's hands all over, you know, the Eastern Border, stupid lyric stuff, all over the house and stuff, and you know, they didn't really do a sterile environment with that. So, pardon the humor, I just, you know, I have to laugh at some of the dark stuff that's, you know, been in my mind this afternoon. So, not anything like a douchebag would do, obviously, but and I do think he's a douchebag. He's pretty much in, you know, I mean, he's like an hour away from me, and he's having the time of his life in jail, I guess, allegedly, with his new Christianity. So, I'm not a fan of that guy. I'm not a supporter of that guy. So, because you watch his family, you watch her family, and you're like, I relate to her family more. And she had her faults. Definitely, absolutely, 100%. But you know, and I've already gone into a lot of this stuff already. But yeah, anyways, going back to that. So I don't know. So what I think happened was there was some more explicit things happening on the phone, if you know what I mean, or being captured on a phone, and that's what some of the cover-up is about, you know. And it could, you know, like I said, there are some things about the case that still could be investigated, and maybe there is stuff. But if the family themselves are convinced that she had nothing, NK had nothing to do with it, I don't really see a point in like beating a dead horse there. You know, I think it's kind of, it's kind of disgusting, you know, it's just to go on and on. Now, I've seen a lot of YouTube channels that are actually like just dedicated to the case. Like, okay, so there'll be a video, like a video game review or something, and then it'll be Chris Watts, like fucking NK, you know. And by the way, I did find another thing, and I'm not going to give it away because I was in that rabbit hole for a couple hours. When I was sick, you know, this past week, I was like, what's her new name? Ugh. Oh wait, no, that's not her. And then you're like, oh my God, I found it. Oh. I mean, this is stuff people can search. I'm just saying, if you want to spend your time doing that instead of like, you know, getting or receiving oral sex, be my guest, you know. I think that's a waste of time compared to that, you know. If you want to succumb to that, you know, to that bullshit. Instead of, you know, anyways, I'm insane. All right, just being honest, you know. So it's really ridiculous, and I'm a little bit vulgar. So for some new subscribers, they might think I'm on drugs. I don't really care. I'm on caffeine, but yeah, I say a lot of weird shit. So just be forewarned, I say a lot of weird shit. So no, I think it's really weird how I'm kind of connected to this guy indirectly. It's just kind of like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more people too, because this person is definitely involved in the community and stuff, and on some level. So I don't know. It's really weird. I'm not going to say his name, because if you know the case, you know what I'm talking about. And I don't know. I just feel tacky. It just feels tacky at this point. I feel kind of embarrassed, honestly, for even like going there, because it's like, I was just curious. Oh, he's in Wisconsin. I'm gonna look him up. Whoa, he's friends with of mine and stuff. Like, he's like, you know, some of these people I haven't seen in a long time, you know, granted, but you know, it's like, I know people that know the guy that's actually being accused of something too by some of these people, and I don't know what to say about that. It's just a little bit, I don't know. I mean, being accused of things without, you know, some of the stuff is just patently ridiculous, like just that people are saying. It's a huge thing. It's a huge, I'm not going to say it's a cash cow, but you know, it's gotten to be a weird like subculture of people. I don't get it necessarily. I talked about it because I identify with some of it. I identified with, you know, a lot of the stuff that was going on, and I saw myself and other people in the two. So yeah, that's about all.